There's actually this court case. A TikToker was suing another TikToker because she was stealing her vibe. And the vibe in question was her beige aesthetic.
Yeah, it was literally like, you're stealing my beige.
And the whole conversation was about like intellectual property.
Well, how can you own the IP? There's IP. It's the color beige.
Welcome to GlowJob, the beauty podcast that's more than skin deep. We're the only podcast to make you hotter and smarter.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
No.
My mom is the shortest, but yeah, my siblings are tall.
And I know you have a sister.
Yeah, 2 brothers.
And how tall are they?
They're like 6'2" and 6'3" or 4. And I think it's because I started drinking coffee too early. I really think it's because I think it goes to frappuccinos.
That's so hysterical. I've told this to Sasa before, but when I was in middle school, I was the tallest one. I was like 5. I'm like 5'2". I was like 5'1" in middle school. And all of my doctors were like, you're going to be 5'10" for sure.
Yeah.
And my brother was also huge. Like my brother's like 6'2", 6'3".
Okay.
And so like he actually is that
You're taller than 5'2" energy.
Thank you
so much. I would have guessed 5'4".
That is so kind. That is so kind. Too much the skirt. Yeah. Okay. Is that better? It was giving debutante.
Maybe I am a debutante.
I was a debutante.
I've not heard that word in a long time. I don't even know if I know what it means.
Your debut into society, I guess.
It's a very old school Southern thing that cotillions and debutantes.
Okay.
I did that all growing up.
I knew a lot of girls who did cotillions. Debutante, I feel like was more of like a Southern thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm making things up.
No, not so much in California.
Yeah.
Probably some places.
Places where Julia was as she was doing her debutante.
No, I did like etiquette class or whatever. Like here's the cutlery to use and everything, but I didn't do the whole thing.
See, I think that's more useful. For sure. I mean, what did I do when I was a debutante? So it was 7th grade.
My debutante era.
Yeah, my debutante era. It was 7th grade to the freshman year of high school or freshman year of college. Sorry. So it was like quite a long time.
It's long.
With the same group of girls. But prior to that, with the same group of girls, I did this group called Indian Princesses, which is now very much canceled.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Very much canceled because we all even had like spirit animals and powwow names. Mine was an otter. But
you resonate with the otter?
No, we just kind of picked, and everyone wanted to be a dolphin or a bunny, and those all got taken. Yeah, so I ended up being an otter, and eventually turned into the same group of girls who I did my debutante league with, 7th grade through freshman year of college. And basically, what do you learn? You learn like etiquette. You do a lot of community service. But you learn how to do life skills like changing a tire, right? Yeah. You gotta learn somewhere.
It sounds like Girl Scouts.
I was going to say it's like Girl Scouts.
It's Girl Scouts, and then at the end of it, you just have this like big party where you wear the ball gown and you get on escort and you kind of do this whole thing. And where was mine? I think mine is at the Beverly Wilshire.
Julia, this sounds like a posh way of doing Girl Scouts. To teach life skills, but tie it with a nice posh bow.
I mean, that's basically what it is.
I was going to say it sounds like a Disney Channel original movie. A little bit. It's like whatever, that really old one, like Beverly Hills, Troop Beverly Hills.
Oh, that's so
like
funny.
The fancy version.
You know, it's basically what it was. It was good. Like if I have a daughter,
I would recommend Girl Scouts. Gabrielle, did you do Girl Scouts?
I did. I was a brownie for 1 year.
Cute.
I remember that I supported them by buying the cookies later on.
Yeah.
But one of my brothers became an Eagle Scout. So we have a little Scout representation in our family, but I am not a camper. I'm not a glamper.
You would have made a great debutante. You didn't have to do that.
I missed out.
You can still do it.
I can still do it. I can regress.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can re-enter into society as saltlacroix.
I can. That's like kind of technically what's happened, I guess.
Yeah. Wait, so I've always wanted to know, where did that name come from? Because it's hilarious.
Oh, thank you. I love sparkling water. And I wanted to do something that was like at the time anonymous. You know, there's like no actual name attached to it because I was still teaching at the time. And so like what's something, and there were a lot of like other usernames that are kind of similar where it's like blank. It's a little bit dated. But I just wanted to come up with what would be like a funny LaCroix flavor.
That is amazing.
I think I saw LaCroix in your purse.
I did. I pamplemousse.
Wait.
Yes. So I am not a like LaCroix purist. I will have bubbly. I'll have Waterloo. But LaCroix it's the OG.
So has there ever been a sponsorship with LaCroix?
They are, so I work in like the branding space. They're targeting I don't think they would be interested in me.
I thought they would love you.
We'll see. Fingers crossed. I would love some free product, even though it's like $3 to $5, for a case. But yeah, we'll see.
Do you like Spindrift?
I do not like Spindrift. Here's the deal. Some Spindrift are okay.
Okay.
But I would rather just squeeze some lemon in a plain LaCroix, in a pure LaCroix. Then there's something about like the canned fruit juice that I just don't like.
I'm addicted to Spindrift. Julia knows. In my fridge, it's always stock.
I mean, no shade. Like it's a great product, but if I had to choose,
yeah.
the two. But the pineapple one.
Yeah, that one's good. But yeah, no, LaCroix is like OG. I want to talk about something because this feels like really top of mind to me. Mm-hmm. So I was out at dinner last night. And I went with my girlfriend. We were at the Polo Lounge in the Beverly Hills Hotel. I hadn't seen her for like a year. So we're like catching up and like my back is faced towards the door and she's looking at me. Mm-hmm. We're chit-chatting, blah, blah. She's like, do not move. Kris Jenner just walked in.
No.
Kris Jenner and her new face came inside.
Kris Jenner 2.0.
2.0.
Or 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Exactly. Upgrade. Slowly I turn around and I look. Oh, in all her glory. Her new face is here. Anyway, the reason why I want to bring this up is because obviously there's been a lot of buzz about like her face, right?
Yeah.
And then the other day there was the whole thing about how Kylie commented on a TikTok and like gave all the details about her boob job. Mm-hmm. What I have been reading online lore, the reason why the Kardashians are being more transparent about their plastic surgery procedures, even though historically they would always deny getting any sort of like
so ridiculous.
Yeah,
I know Kylie and the overlining her lips.
Yeah,
puberty.
I know puberty. That's the best excuse. Yeah, because like you can't argue with biology, but sure, Kylie.
Right? Yeah, your lips magically become giant when you get hormones. Okay, sure. But so like the theory online is that they are becoming more transparent about all their work being done because they are potentially investing in like a plastic center. What are our thoughts?
I think it's the most natural progression that there ever was, but it is dark.
It's so like dystopian to me because like it's nothing new that people will like go into a plastic surgeon's office and be like, I want Kim's, whatever, Kylie's, whatever. There's like a term for it, like the Kardashianification.
Yes.
Right. And you see it all over the world.
Oh yeah.
Definitely in LA, like New York, Miami, like anywhere the Kardashians have touched down, I think people then go and follow suit. But to me, it's just like so creepy. Like a factory, like you walk in looking one way, you walk out looking like whichever one you choose. Maybe they have like a little booklet where you can like mix and match. I want Kim's nose, Kylie's boobs, Kendall's legs.
It's like Roblox or The Sims or something. Like it really feels like that. It's so funny that you're bringing this up because I was thinking the exact same thing. Not the story. I didn't see Kris Jenner, but about the Kylie boob job thing. And like, what does it mean on the drive here today? Because my wheels are turning as well. And it's like, we want to be able to shop bits and pieces and it's becoming more accessible. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. I think I felt the same way as you, which is like, oh, this is like the natural next progression for them. Kris is always working. She's always trying to find an angle.
The ultimate momager.
She really is. That woman deserves her 10%. But then it's like dystopian and dark. But I mean, isn't this kind of inevitable, right? To me, I'm like, oh, this is dark and sad, but also all roads lead to this, it feels like.
But to me, it's just like next level. Because like the Kylie lip kit, it's like, oh yeah, get Kylie's lips. And now it's like very, very much literally get my lips. But I don't know. I have a question. I was like talking about the Kris Jenner facelift with my mom, and she is absolutely convinced that it's not real and that it doesn't actually look that good in person.
I thought it looked pretty good.
Okay.
Granted, she came in with sunglasses and then
at 8 p.m.
Yeah, like literally. And I'm like, okay. And then she sat down at the table for 20 minutes with the sunglasses on. It wasn't until Cindy Crawford came in that she took her sunglasses off. But at that point, she was farther away from us.
Interesting. Because I'm just so curious to see like what the skin would actually look like with a deep plain facelift, right? Because like it's going to be stretched But I also know that when she goes out, she's wearing like so much makeup.
Yeah.
And I've even heard that like all of these paparazzi get paid to apply filters onto photos. And even at the videos, because like, when they film their like Hulu interview behind the scenes for their show, like they have like heavy filters, heavy lights on the camera.
Yeah, they've got the Real Housewives treatment.
I know. I want that just for a day, just to see what I look like.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like it or if it would be like uncanny valley. Because I don't know how intense they are, I guess.
I guess like if I had a filter on my face, it's like, yay, it's nice. But then the second you look at yourself, then you're like, oh shit, this is not me.
People are saying though, like, oh, you've now seen her in person, but like from the photos, it looks like she's tried to like approximate Kendall in a way. And I don't know if you see the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I've not finished this season yet. I'm having a little trouble telling some of the people apart still with the names and the hair and everything. But that one girl's mom, Taylor, got like a face, so she got a bunch of work done and she looks almost exactly like her daughter. It's like she wanted that fresh blood, that like specific look. It's very disturbing.
What that's reminding me of is what's the Demi Moore movie that just came out?
Oh yeah, Substance.
Yeah. That's exactly what this feels like. Because isn't that her thing? Like she's like, okay, I'm gonna take, I haven't seen it yet, but like she takes the medication so that she could be like younger, and then on the off days her body is kind of hidden, and then a fresh, younger, 20 years younger version of her is out in the world. And then
I haven't seen the movie, but that's
it's dark.
It's very much like Dorian Gray lore, but like also like, what's that guy's? Brian Johnson.
Oh yeah.
He has a blood boy and it's his son.
Yeah, you're right.
Boy, are we all going to have like blood second twins or something? I don't know.
I mean, it's like very dystopian to me. Like, I don't know. I would never ask my child for their blood.
What if your child offers?
I'm going to say, no, thank you. You need it. Well, what am I going to do with it?
Yeah, why not? Stem cells? Anything.
Oh gosh, that's going to become like a new like rite of passage.
Yeah.
Mom, I was thinking, looking a little tired.
Oh my God.
I hope not.
Next level. I don't know. I don't feel like it's that bad. Like people do.
You would take blood from your child to look better, not for like a medical reason, but to like, I don't know, if they say like, oh, you can get rid of your crow's feet with a pint of your child's blood, would you take that blood?
I give blood all the time. Like we don't need as much blood as you think you do.
Yeah.
Are you serious? That's cross.
I mean, but though that goes to people that need it, like in the emergency room. It's not going to like,
yeah, what if we need to look good?
Oh my God.
And that blood to go around.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a trend this is. I feel like there was like a peak and we're maybe still living in it. And I don't mean to offend anyone if you like identify as a barn animal, but barnyard livestock. But beef tallow, what are we doing? What's going? I need to. I actually did. You've seen it around, right? You've seen people putting it on.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's very upsetting.
So I tried to come prepared. I wrote down what I thought beef tallow did, and then I looked up what the actual benefits are. So what I thought it did was to attract people on keto diet. And that's all. And then I looked up what it actually does. Hydration and moisture could ease eczema symptoms if that's you. And you can cook with it.
Yeah.
So why has it reached like this peak, this fever pitch of beef tallow?
We have opinions.
We have opinions. So when we think about it, like I feel like there's very much a pipeline of skincare influencers to beef tallow to like Maha, right? Like it's very much in that realm of kind of like that RFK, anti like chemicals, super, super clean. And this is kind of just what they have chosen because it really is one product. It's just cow fat that's been boiled over and over and over again. So it's then like a condensed, clean product.
Okay.
It is delicious though.
Yeah. Well, it's like clarified butter.
I was going to say, is this ghee?
It's like
coconut? Okay.
It's literally ghee. Yeah. And yeah, so it's like Maha, Make America Healthy Again, that whole vibe, which also is really funny because it's like, to me, the crunchy granola, like, I'm going to go on to extremes here, right? Crunchy granola Antifa people, and then crunchy granola like Maha people. They're on two polar ends of the political spectrum that buy beef tallow, and are actually the same person.
No, that's like the horseshoe theory or whatever.
Yes.
They're meeting probably on like boiled grains and beef tallow and probably some other stuff. Non-toxic sunscreen or no sunscreen.
This non-toxic sunscreen.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's Primally Pure, which is probably one of the biggest like Maha-y brands. Yeah,
Sure.
So they just did this whole campaign, and it was, or not even campaign, they did a whole damn ass billboard. And the billboard, I think, literally says, like, most sunscreens are poisonous.
Mhm.
Here is our toxic-free sunscreen. Presumably saying that, like, every other sunscreen is toxic and will kill you.
Yeah, what?
No, it's so crazy. And I think like one of the sunscreen brands that we do like, Ultraviolet, they're like this Australian brand. They just launched in Sephora, but they clap back with their own billboard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so, just kind of proving that like sunscreen isn't bad for you, right?
Yeah.
It's good for you. And I think like, I don't know, it's like the same people, it's just like a lot of kind of that conspiracy theorist, misinformation camp that tend to like products like this because they're going against the establishment of like dermatologists, skincare experts, and like clinical,
science. Forget science.
Yeah, forget science. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about the Middle Earth people, the giants that live in the core.
Yeah.
Have you heard that conspiracy?
I have heard that. Yeah.
Wait, I
love
have
conspiracy
not.
theory. Yeah. I don't remember much more.
Oh, but that there's people that they're giants living in the Earth's magma. Okay.
Yeah. And that there's another one. I'm going to go off on a real deep dive tangent here, but there are some folks, especially in like in neo-Nazi circles, who believe that Hitler is living in the core of the Earth with the big giants, like the Aryan race.
I haven't heard about this in a long time.
Yeah.
You've heard this?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
It's not just us two. There's at least one other person.
Where do you read this? Like what weird
Reddit,
corner of
like-
4chan?
Oh,
Okay.
I hate people. When I first moved out to LA, I can
do it.
there's a prominent beauty YouTuber, former beauty YouTuber, and we were talking about conspiracy theories.
Oh, just say it. Just name her.
Oh, Michelle Pham.
Yeah, no, but it's so wild because like I feel like there's been so much like discourse from like the dermatologist, skincare expert community, like condemning beef tallow and saying that like, because also people that say like they just kind of make beef tallow seem like this like panacea that's gonna like cure every issue, acne, eczema. I've even seen people say that you can use beef tallow as sunscreen. It will literally do the opposite. And I think like when they hear these dermatologists coming back and saying that, oh no, beef tallow is bad for you, they're just like, that's exactly what I knew you would say.
Yeah.
Like you were gonna tell me not to use my beef tallow.
You're the same doctor who told me to get a COVID shot, and now
Yeah, no, it's exactly that. That's really too bad. Well, the whole thing with the sunscreen and everything is that maybe there are chemicals that aren't great that happen to be in some sunscreen. That maybe sunscreen that's not as good.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want skin cancer or do you want like maybe like a couple like random particles floating around in your body?
Right.
Mhm.
No, it's so wild. But again, I hate just like nagging on like the Maha community, but it's still so true because it's the same people that say like skin cancer is fake, like sun related skin cancer is fake. And it's the same people that say like, oh, I've even heard people say that sunscreen gives you cancer.
All right. Well,
I don't think I've heard that one. I don't know how I heard about the Middle Earth giants before I heard that one.
No, it's so wild. But they say that like it's the same vein of like, oh, like, the only reason why so many people have COVID is because you're testing for COVID. You know what I mean? And it's the same reason why like, oh, you're suddenly getting skin cancer from the sun because you're testing for it. Like,
yeah, that's kind of how those things work.
I don't fully get beef tallow, but I feel like it's going down. Like I don't see it as much online anymore.
Yeah.
Minus this like, and maybe this wasn't exactly the same because Primally Pure, it's a sunscreen. I don't know if they have beef tallow in that sunscreen or not, but I know other products they have.
for sure.
But this like jump started that whole conversation
For
again.
sure. We actually had a brand reach out to us like, what?
Oh yeah.
So this guy just launched like a beef tallow company and he wanted to be on the podcast and have us talk about his products. And it's just so crazy because when we looked up his background, like he doesn't have any experience in skincare or any experience other than just being like a YouTuber, really, and, his whole shtick is like creating faceless content that grows accounts so you can earn passive income or whatever, and so
He's good at it.
Okay.
yeah, he's like very famous, but it was the fastest no.
Yeah. We were like, we can't.
No.
Yeah, no. Well, you have integrity, Seriously, no, some people would say, you know what, let's hear all sides. But I feel like it's even if you are, bringing it on just for like a different point of view, it's still like giving voice to that. And you never know what they're going to say. The outset of all of this Maha stuff is really RFK's brainworm. So like there's something else going on. And that's not even a like giants in the middle of the earth. It was a thing.
Yeah.
So he's perhaps dictating the big Tallow stuff.
The tapeworm in his brain. I remember when that came out and that was just like so funny, like reading through the divorce like summary basically, and like how he's basically talking about like, yeah, and the worm ate a lot of my brain. So, that's why I can't really make money to pay off like the like do the alimony or blah, blah, blah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was part of his divorce case.
That is insane.
And that's why it came out.
Yeah, he's like an LA local in some ways. Like he works out at Gold's Gym.
Oh, really?
Oh, he does?
Yeah. My husband's seen him there a couple of times. My husband doesn't go there. He likes to go to Justa. There's like a fence so you can like see who's working out outside. Yeah. And apparently like RFK goes, no shirt, jeans. Jeans, not jean shorts, jeans.
That's a bold choice.
That's bold. Yeah, that's a bold choice.
Yes.
Okay, that's giving Arrested Development when the husband...
Oh, the Never Nude?
Yes, Never Nude.
I saw him on Larchmont, David Cross.
Oh, really?
Recently, yeah.
No way.
But he was fully clothed.
Bummer. So, Gabrielle, you're like very trend forward. What's another thing that you feel like is like a big...
So I think some of your guests might have touched on this a little bit, but I'm so fascinated by like blush versus contour. And this goes back to the like even the Kris Jenner facelift, just face shape and like the preoccupation that we now have with like getting our face to be facial balancing and getting our faces to be like the perfect angles or whatever. If you have money, you might be achieving, contour or whatever. Now I feel like through filler or through buccal fat removal or like those, it's crazy to think of those as trends,
I know.
But like they're happening. But I feel like in 2016, up until a certain point, we were like chiseling our faces in the morning. We were like Michelangelo. We were just really crazy. Getting in there.
I don't know if I was doing that or giving myself like 5 o'clock shadows. I feel like that's how it would turn out sometimes.
No, it's all like light and shadow, and if you like, it's a slightly advanced makeup technique, I feel like, but we were all doing it.
Well, so my knowledge of a lot of like contour and blush and that whole ideology just comes from drag and the drag community, right? Because it's like men wanting to feminize their features with light and makeup, but the difference is that they're under intense stage light,
right?
And day to day it looks crazy.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Scott Barnes, like who is
J-Lo's
makeup artist? Yeah, I remember he did like this video once on Tati's channel, and it got so many views. But like basically, he was showing how he does like contour on Kayla's face, and the brushes he was using. Tati was like, "Oh, what's this brush?" And he's like, "I literally use paint brushes, like brushes you use for like oil paint."
Yeah,
because he's like, when you think about light and contour, he's like, it's like painting. You have to understand color theory. You have to understand lighting. You have to understand all these things. Yeah. And he's like, that's how I treat the face.
For sure. It's like chiaroscuro, right?
Yeah,
like taking it back to art history. But
I've told the story on a couple of platforms, and somebody actually ripped this story and sent it to Overheard LA. But when it was super fun. It's so silly. But when I was a teacher, I had a fifth grade boy tell me on the recess yard one morning that his mom was in such a bad mood that morning because she forgot to contour her face. And I think at the time, this was like 2017, I think that makes sense. And now if we forget to contour our face, who cares? We might not have done that in the first place. And I feel like all sorts of blushes in terms of just like new product releases and formulations, that's something I'm seeing way more of.
Yeah. And like blush as contour.
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
No, I mean, but like the same idea applies. Like blush is darker than your skin tone. So you're still able to kind of like create those shadows.
Yeah.
But no, the way that blush has exploded over the past few years, like I never would have anticipated that.
No.
Like when I was in high school, college, like I would refuse to wear blush. Like I just thought I looked like a clown. And now I can't get enough of it. And so like I'm part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
Like
I remember when I was in college, the thing I would do, I never actually bought blush, but I would just take my lipstick or my lip gloss and I'd always just put it like this. Wow. And I would just smudge it in and be like, cheap. It's good. Let's go.
Yeah, well, it'll match. You know, that's a pro move also. Yeah,
That is a pro move.
yeah.
That was me being budget savvy.
Yeah.
Nice. But now liquid blush is a thing. So I should have capitalized on
Are
that.
you a liquid or cream or powder blush or all three?
So my go-to, I always start with a liquid or a cream. I am, agnostic there, but I always layer it with a powdered blush.
Yeah.
And so I use like 3 different products every day. It's a lot.
Nice. Yeah, I think we usually have 2 or 3.
Okay, so what are your favorite blushes right now?
So I was so afraid of red blush for the longest time, like really red. I'm like, there's no way that is going to look good at all. And then I tried it. It's the Glossier Spark, the like cloud paint or whatever, the little paint tube. And now I can't stop using that.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I went through the same like realization as you that like red blush is it. Yeah. I use a Tower 28 one. I'm obsessed with it.
No, it's so good.
Wait, so that's so wild. So like when that comment got ripped off by like Overheard LA.
Yeah.
What is the response? Like what do you do when that happens?
That's so funny. I don't follow Overheard LA. I feel like it's kind of like the BuzzFeed of Instagram in a way. Like it's a relic of a different time. And it started out, I think, with real honest to goodness Overheard things. Mm-hmm. And now
the product placements,
or very clearly like not real quotes. Mm-hmm. and apparently stolen content. So my mom actually sent me the post because I wasn't following it. And she's like, this sounds like you, or like, this sounds familiar. Because I had posted it like a couple days before. And the person who is like submitted by blah, blah, blah. And the person had submitted it as like 10-year-old boy, which is what a 5th grader would be. And then too similar. And then the person who submitted it, they had deleted their account. I thought that they had just blocked me because I couldn't see it. But then I posted it, and I am not about like, go after that person. Like, I just think it's bad energy unless it's something really bad. But I shared it to my story and I was like, hey, I love stolen content. And then people like went to it and they're like, this is so, because they knew, because I posted it recently. They're like, you totally stole this. I DM'd Overheard LA twice explaining to them like, hey, just so you know, they probably know that people submit stolen content all the time. But I DM'd them a few times and just I never heard back. I was like,
so wild.
Delete this, but
so wild. There's actually this court case that was going on between these 2 TikTokers. A TikToker was suing another TikToker because she was stealing her vibe.
Yeah. It was based on vibes.
It was based on, it's like a court case based on vibes. And the vibe in question was her beige aesthetic.
Yeah, it was literally like, you're stealing my beige.
Yeah. And so the girl was like, she like went to court with kind of like post for post, what she was posting and what her alleged, stalker was posting, and seeing all of the similarities. And there were similarities, but also like the funny thing to me is like they both made their platforms based off of like Amazon basics, right? It's always like the same 10 products that are always like trending in that community at any given moment. But yeah, they went to court over that. Who won? I think they settled. Did they settle?
Yeah, it was like late breaking. I think like sometime this week or last week that they settled, but it was going on for a while. The creepy part, I will like concede to the person, the original beige, if that's true.
Original beige?
Like, I don't know the OGB, but it was that the framing was like of the photos was very similar. It would be like a similar angle of the product, but it would be the same Amazon, like you said, product. Like all of them look like, nameless, faceless things you can find on Pinterest. So
and I think that's what they want, right? Like that's the aesthetic that they go for. But it was just so crazy that like she was just trying to take ownership of that vibe. And I feel like there are so many of them.
I know. I'm obsessed with this conversation. I think about this stuff all the time. Like,
I feel like I remember seeing on your stories now, Gabrielle, that you were talking about like beige. And I was like, is beige a thing? I didn't know.
Who owns beige?
That's what this is.
Imagine being the judge on that case and just like listening to these women and the lawyers that they're paying, right?
Yeah.
Like but it's crazy because like, I mean, the whole conversation was about like intellectual property, right? And like copyright. And technically like, since these influencers do this full time, they're not just individuals going to court, they're companies going to court because they each are their own company.
You're right.
Well, how can you own the IP? There's no fucking IP. It's the color beige. Pantone might own the color. Like, who owns it? No one owns it.
Yeah, but it was just like, well, I'm making money off of this and this is my style. And when you're copying my style, you're potentially stealing from me, is kind of the vibe.
Yeah,
but
you call it like reheating somebody's nachos in a way. And that's more in like music artists, like ripping off other music artists. But yeah, I feel like beige has gone, it's literally beige, like the products, the aesthetic and everything. Just like we would, the paint swatch card from like Home Depot, beige, 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 right? But it's gone beyond just the color. It is the vibe now. And I think there has been a pushback. I think people are starting to be more into maximalism and kind of pushing back against that minimalism and that beige. So it's funny that this is happening now, this court case and this, debate, because like we moved past that in a way, like at least, people who are like paying attention to trends, we're not really all about beige anymore. But I feel like beige has now become kind of the maha, the beef tallow a little bit. I think it's
Primally Pure.
Yeah, Primally Pure. It's like the homesteader, the trad wife, all that business is kind of under the beige umbrella.
That's so funny. Yeah, that brings up such a good point that they're fighting over a vibe from like 5 years ago.
Yeah, we're over it.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Okay, so like beige, we're done. We're over. Bye-bye. Yeah, no more. But I feel like within beauty, at least, there's definitely the rise of kind of like the it product. Like there's always one product out there that everyone's coveting, everyone's talking about. You see it a bunch of times on TikTok and Instagram. And I think it's really timely right now, especially with Haley and Rode. And when I think of Rode, I think of that goddamn phone case.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That becoming such a thing, like a coveted it item. I know the it girl, but like the it product.
So when I think about like, I know that these companies like working in skincare, like a lot of it is just paid UGC, right? And like the more shots on goal you have, the more chances to go viral, the more people talking about it. And it's crazy that there's like literally like apps now and like companies built around helping companies make more UGC content, right? Where they're literally just like shipping and sampling out to like thousands of people. But it's more interesting to me when I see it happen like organically.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and for me, it's not beauty, but like LaBuBus.
Everything's
like,
LaBuBu.
Everything like LaBuBus we're like an organic. Like, I don't think there's like big LaBuBu out there, like pushing LaBuBus onto the masses. Like, I think that was like an organic one. But I feel like with beauty, I always have such like a grain of mistrust.
Yeah.
Because I feel like very few of these products, it's not organic. Because honestly, a lot of them just suck.
No, I know the one that like I'm always looking out for a great primer, because I was like not on the primer train at all before. I'm like, what difference does it make? I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Glow, whatever. And what is that product called? It's the like
filter something.
Flawless filter, whatever. It's like, if I have that, it had foundation. Why do you want concealer? Why do I need a primer? And now I'm like, all right, I get it. But I kept seeing that, I think it was the Refi one that's like a roller, and it's like such sexy packaging, and it looks like a product you have to have. And everyone is like, oh, this is an essential step in my routine. And it's a germ trap. I feel like the roller.
Oh.
Because it's like going over your face over and over again.
So true. And then back into the bottle too.
Yeah. So that kind of turned me off to it. I literally held it up in Sephora and I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, I don't know if I want. Like, no.
Yeah. You have to replace it probably like once a month.
Yeah. But like that and the case, like you mentioned, the Rode case, which Justin ripped off. He did like a joint version.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I've seen somebody do like a DIY version of that, but it is like, and all like the Rode pop-ups and stuff. And I like some of the products, but like there are other options.
Yeah.
And I think that like thinking for yourself is really, and I've talked about this before on my channels, like that is like the one thing you can do in like the war on beige, like against beige. And if you love beige, that's totally fine. But like, if you don't want to fall into the, someone's stealing my vibe, no, they're just buying the same product, I think the way, really test products, like figure out your own vibe.
What you were just saying of just like figure out your own vibe, and like, because it feels like a lot of the time the beauty industry is pushing on things onto us. I rewatched The Devil Wears Prada recently. One of my favorite classic, right? Okay. And then there was the scene where Andy, so Anne Hathaway, right, her character, and she's like helping Miranda as they're getting ready for a shoot. Miranda's pulling all these belts, and Andy says all the belts look the same to her, and Miranda like loses her shit and tells her basically in this diatribe, like, you think like you're better than fashion and this and blah, blah, but like, look at that stupid ass blue sweater you're wearing right now. You think that's just some random ass Gap sweater? No, the fashion industry made that for you. We picked out that color 2 years ago. We knew that Pantone swatch. We did all this extra work, blah, blah. Then we shot it on the cover, and then slowly it trickled down to you into the bottom bin of like a TJ Maxx, and you bought it, right?
Cerulean.
Yes, cerulean. Exactly.
No, it's the same in beauty for sure.
Yeah.
We were chatting with a beauty founder recently, and we asked her, like, what the hell is up with all these peptide lip treatments? It's crazy. And so what she was telling us is like, there are these conferences, like, you know, in Vegas and Monaco, all over the world, where these chemists basically acquire a surplus of products, almost like Pantone Color Book, but like peptide was the ingredient of the season. Wow. And then so it's a lot of times when beauty companies go to, you know, these conferences and they look to the raw ingredient providers, like, because they've been around forever, like decades. There's like no reason why there should be 40 lip peptide options on Sephora's website right now.
Yeah. And it's like great for like SEO purposes too. And, you know, like there's like to have, you know, the marketing of it all, whether like the concentration or whatever is like high in peptide. I don't know what I'm talking about. Or like low, at least they can slap peptide on it, right?
The word.
Yeah, it's in the zeitgeist. People know. And another person we were talking to, she's a cosmetic chemist, and she works and consults with a lot of brands who want to blow up, you know, that want to be big and want to like follow these trends, but they just don't have the budget to like crank out a lip peptide treatment in time to catch the trend. So, you know, it's really just interesting how all this happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Miranda Priestley.
Yeah.
So much happens behind the scenes for it to end up on your keychain, because I guess all lip glosses are keychains now.
Yeah, everything's like a wearable. I think that is like one thing I'm really interested to see if that continues to happen, like the phone case and like other things, just wearables in general, like the LaBuBus, like the bag charms, because it is a status symbol, you know, just like Kris Jenner's face. Like it really just like you can afford that, you know, like.
I think the like wearable part of beauty is what fascinates me, because this is the part where like you can really see the overlap of fashion and beauty. And also I think, and maybe I'm stretching this a little too far, but maybe like in times when there's economic strain, right? So like you're looking around at these like $70 foundations. You're like, oh, I don't know if I can really afford a $70 foundation. But like a lip gloss keychain, that's $25. Or technically when LaBuBu's, when you're able to buy a LaBuBu, it's not that expensive. Right. It's just, the markup and everything. But these little wearable things are low cost that you can carry around like a purse.
Yeah.
So it's like a status symbol, like you said, and it just gives you like more bang for your buck.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like, that's why like the Dior lip oils exploded, because everyone wants like Dior. Maybe you can't afford a $5,000 saddlebag, but you can afford a $40 lip balm. And that's
why I say something about the Dior lip products.
Yeah.
Okay. Dior lip oil, I think a little overrated. The other ones, like there's the lip glow something. It's like kind of like the balm stick.
Yes, I have those.
Oh, those are nice.
And the lip maximizer, favorite lip products.
What's the maximizer?
It's like slightly plumping, but it's like minty, and the packaging is cute.
The packaging is cute. It's similar to the lip oils, but it's a little bit more slender.
Okay.
But they're really cute. But like, I think like that's why like, you know, these Dior, Chanel's, like big fashion brands, like are cranking out so much makeup.
Gabrielle, what do you think is going to be like the next wearable? It could be wearable beauty, or just like, I don't know what the F of LaBuBu is considered accessory.
Yeah.
Just like, where do you think we're going with this?
I do think it will probably be tied to bags still. I really think just like some sort of like holster. I don't want to give anyone any ideas, but just like, I feel like that is the next. We have the phone case, and I feel like that is kind of, it's had its moment. The Rode phone case, you know, it kind of set the precedent, but I would be shocked if there is not some brand, you know, like a little holder or some sort of cute way to like display a product on your purse. I remember seeing students back in the day have the little Bath and Body Works hand sanitizers with the little hole in the little holsters, and they put them on there. So yeah, it's like inspiration from obviously these like K-beauty brands and others, but also from children, you know, from products for kids.
Or like Claire's. I think of Claire's, right? Because I feel like you could buy those things at Claire's back in the day.
Yeah.
I think that's why they do so well, because it does kind of like tap into the nostalgia that so many of us had, like, you know, in the early 2000s, whenever, you know, because like we would be able to like collect things, get so much happiness and joy and excitement from it. And it's maybe like that's kind of the joy that you feel when you get your LaBuBu, is like when you got your Beanie Baby back in the day.
No, that's true.
You're kind of tapping into that lizard brain, maybe.
Yeah.
Or like Lisa Frank. Like I remember that as a kid getting those stickers. I don't know what I did with the stickers. I just wanted every single sticker.
To look at
look at
that.
Yeah, it's just the shiny thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they're all crows.
I know. I love birds.
Me too.
It's the lipstick index, but it's also like the little treat. Somebody at my work like consulted me about it. Can you talk to me a little bit more about the little treat thing? What's happening? Why are people going after, you know, little treat as in not just your matcha and your muffin or whatever, but like these little products that make you feel happy.
Right.
Well, I'm stressing out now because I know I can't just have a LaBuBu, which I don't. I'm a mother to be. It has not arrived yet. But I'm going to have to buy clothes.
Wait, does it come unclothed?
Yeah, they come naked.
Oh, that's how they make money. So they want you to buy accessories for your doll.
No, they have like Etsy shops.
When do you think LaBuBu's gonna die? Because like I feel like Sunny Angel was here and then that got cannibalized by
My mom asked me the same question yesterday. I was like, I got one. She's like, when do you think these are gonna go? I like probably within a year. I don't know.
There are Sundays where I'm like, oh, this is cute, and then Sundays I look at it, I'm like, this is just so ugly. Like I'm not sure what's happening.
I really think it's like when there's like a medium ugly guy and like they just keep trying and they just keep trying, and then finally you're like, you know what, I love you.
Thanks, Gabrielle. This is really fun.
Thank you. I had so much fun. I was looking forward to this for so long, and yeah, it's just like kind of the dream to be able to talk about the products and stuff that we like to buy and try, and
Yeah, well, we're obsessed with this kind of shit all day long. I know.
Yeah, it's a great thing to like have a hyper fixation on and to just like, you know, have a business around too.
You know, like sometimes I wonder, like, is it a good thing to be like so chronically online? But if you can channel it into a way that like, you know, benefits you and you're just not like constantly scrolling, I think to me makes me feel better about my screen time. Totally.
Yeah, no, it's social currency that you don't have to feel bad about. I really feel like it's like you're able to like make conversation with people and also inform people who don't know what a LaBuBu is, who don't know what a peptide treatment is, you know?
Okay, so Gabrielle, where can people find you?
You can find me at saltlacroix, SALTLACROIX, like the beverage, on Instagram and on TikTok and YouTube.
Oh, great, because your podcast, right?
Yeah, so a podcast which comes out as much as I can record it, usually weekly. Is called Micro Trending, where I talk about kind of just trends happening online and a lot of the like societal implications, but that I post on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Yeah. Well, we can't wait.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for listening. A new episode drops every Wednesday morning. And don't forget to share some love, follow, subscribe, leave us a comment, and share this episode with a friend who needs a glow up. And let's be friends. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at GlowJob Podcast. If you have any questions, email us at hello@glowjobpodcast.com or shoot us a DM on Instagram. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.